Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles. I thought this was going to fall apart for Philadelphia. They hold on to win 28-23. Eagles move to 6-2. Jags fall to 2-7.
If this collapse had happened, if they'd actually lost this game, would this game on its own have been reason enough to fire Nick Sirianni? Even though, even though they're actually in a pretty good spot, everything's going reasonably well for Philadelphia. Like based off last year plus this game.
No. We'll talk about it in a second because I don't think all of his decisions. Like I don't think he made bad. People are mad because he made analytical decisions that were, not by the book. There's other reasons why Nick Sirianni, you can question him as a head coach. I don't think it's the in-game decision making as much. But let's get to it.
Okay.
Already off the start, the Jags muff a punt. Eagles pick it up, score a touchdown right away. Jalen Hurts to Saquon Barkley.
To be fair, I don't think he muffed the punt as much as got annihilated by the coverage and then, fumbled the ball.
You described it better than me.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I mean, there
was just a lot of weird plays.
I think he could have fair caught that and not taken the missile from the gunner.
So my point is, Jags shooting themselves in the foot, give up a touchdown.
Yeah.
Just before the half, we talked about this before, Saquon Barkley, 19-yard touchdown, untouched.
Yeah. 3rd and 17 on a draw play. And he's completely untouched.
Second time in, 3 weeks we've seen that? That was Tennessee's score against Indy a couple weeks ago with Tony Pollard. I mean, this was ridiculous that the Jags gave this up. So impressive job, Saquon Barkley finding the end zone again. And then we'll talk about, it was a weird score, right? It was 22-0. Jags score a touchdown to make it 22-6. They go for 2, make it 22-8. And then Saquon Barkley fumbles. It looked like he should have been down by contact.
Yeah.
But the great running back / tight end Trayvon Walker picks it up, weaves through the defense.
Finally, we have unlocked the true athletic potential of Trayvon Walker. It turns out you take the greatest freak athlete the game has ever seen and assume that because of that he'd be a great pass rusher.
No.
Actually, just give him the ball and let him go nuts. This is like, we've overthought this, right? Take it all the way back to high school. What do you do with the best athlete on the field?
Give him the ball.
Give him the damn ball and let him go make a play. Just why have we been overthinking this? Give Trayvon Walker the ball and let him just run through everybody and score a touchdown.
Maybe Travis Hunter's been getting too much credit as this two-way player. He's merely the first one who tried. I mean, for years we said, hey, J.J. Watt, what if J.J. Watt was just a tight end? Imagine if he was a tight end. Is he Gronk? Is he close? Is he capable?
Remember the one time somebody spat the ball up and Aaron Donald picked it up and was like, oh my God, look at this.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald starts returning the ball like a running back. You're like, this could be amazing.
Give them more carries.
If you have an all-time freak defender, pass rusher, give that guy the football, right? None of this goal line carry with your out of shape offensive guard trying to plow it in from a yard. Throw it to your freak show defensive tackle and let him go in. You think it was a coincidence that the refrigerator was a defensive tackle, not an offensive tackle? No.
Nope.
Give it to them. Give Trayvon Walker the football. I'm starting the campaign now. Give Trayvon Walker the ball.
I know it just failed a couple weeks ago. Or last week, the Bears handed it off to a
guard.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right.
You think offensive linemen, those guys don't deserve the football. Defensive linemen. Now we're talking.
Anyway, it wasn't scoregami in this game, but I think the way you got there was scoregami.
Should have been.
Right? It was 22-0, then 22-8. So it was just, there was so many of these decisions, right? So the Jags score a touchdown to make it 24-14. You're down 8. Is that what it was? Yeah, 24-14. And then they go for 2 to make it 22-16. And then, look, Jalen Hurts has been throwing the ball much better these last couple weeks. He hits Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, what a catch.
That's the other catch I was trying to
talk about your boy.
Devontae Smith with a ridiculous one-handed catch that rivals the Garrett Wilson one-handed catch.
Kind of. But yeah, the footwork.
I mean, it's a different type of catch, but it absolutely rivaled it. I mean, that was an absurd one-handed catch for a touchdown. And again, it's so insane how good wide receivers are at this now. Any one of these catches would be the greatest catch of a season in previous years, and now they're happening on a weekly basis. Crazy play from him.
So every time the Eagles, all right, they're a better team. They pull away by 2 scores. The Jags are a little shorthanded without Christian Kirk. Brian Thomas Jr. at least played. But the Jags come back again, make it a 5-point game. Trevor Lawrence with his second rushing touchdown, this time a scramble. It's 28-23, and then the Jags get the ball back and have a chance to potentially win the game. And that's where it felt like, if you're an Eagles fan or if you're watching, this felt like a 2023 like collapse, like the entire season, how the entire season collapsed.
Right. Blowing
a 22-point lead, as you meant, you were saying, is this a fireable offense, right? Is this like job security type stuff? But Nakobe Dean with the game-ending interception to clinch it. And
amazing catch.
The Eagles.
He was a linebacker.
Yeah. It is, I don't want to take this one play and just like extrapolate it into Trevor Lawrence's entire career. But there's, when we would do PFF grading a lot, right? You really get to see the details a lot in the game, right? And running back, no offense to running backs, and maybe this is what makes Saquon Barkley so special. Running backs, they're not the best receivers, right? Like
it's almost verbatim. I think it was whichever McCourty does the games.
Yeah.
It was them. The McCourty was the guy. He's like, he literally said, no disrespect to the position.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't throw the ball at a running back.
I'm not trying to copy Jason. I think it was Jason, right? I'm not trying to copy McCourty. But you see that all the time. Like a poor QB throws a pick six because the running back is supposed to run like a little 5-yard hitch and he just fades to 6 yards and you give up a pick six.
Yeah.
And so it's you're throwing a jump ball to a third-string running back. And again, I'm not trying to extrapolate this over Trevor Lawrence's career. But it's like there's always there's like quirky decisions.
Yeah.
And it's not I just misread a linebacker and misread the coverage. It's this. Like with the game on the line, I'm going to throw a jump ball to a third-string running back, and that comes back to bite.
Yeah. No disrespect to the position, but you don't take that shot.
You don't do that.
Look,
not on Nakobe Dean.
Right.
Either.
No. I mean, look, there's a lot of credit, I think, that you can give to the Eagles in various places and individuals. You know, Quinion Mitchell, Nakobe Dean with that ridiculous pick. Ed Reed Blankenship had another good game. Zach Bond had a great game. Linebacker for them, Jalen Carter was impressive. I, however, want to dedicate some time to talking about Saquon Barkley, right? So he might have a weird grade because that fumble ends up getting charged to him or downgraded to him at PFF.
Really quick.
That's questionable.
He was probably down by contact. Like he
probably
got touched, tripped over.
I think what they've determined on that replay, right? He definitely gets touched by a defender who like gets a hand to his calf or whatever. And then he trips up basically on the back of his own offensive lineman and goes to ground. And you're like, that looks like it should be down by contact. So therefore the ground can't cause the fumble play over. I think what they've determined is that the slap to the back of the calf wasn't enough to have taken him down, and actually he tripping on his own offensive lineman is what sent him to the ground. Therefore, it's not down by contact, it's live, and the ball comes out, it's his fumble. Anyway, regardless, that's the sort of negative play in here. On the other hand, on the positive side of the ledger, we have Saquon with another one of those ridiculous, like the plays you don't throw to running backs, right? Deep down the field, adjustment over the shoulder, makes a catch in the end zone. That's his second one of the season of those, where like there must be 5 plays like that in the NFL this year to running backs, and he's responsible for at least for 2 of them. Insane play. You've got the 3rd and 17. Oh, it's just a give up draw. Saquon takes it to the house, aided dramatically by Jacksonville's defense, just like caving in and not defending anything. Then you talked about artist before, right? Here is where you get the artwork. The play where he hurdles a guy backwards, right? You saw this, yes?
Yes, it's insane.
Not only is it insane, I believe that this play is the single most perfect play to have ever taken place in the NFL, right? Not the best play, but the single most perfect. It was artwork. You know, you hear sometimes about the perfect movie, 3 perfect acts all comes together to make a perfect movie, or a perfect song, right? Something that's just absolute perfection and artistry. On this play, Saquon Barkley, it's 3rd and 6, and they just give him a little dump off in the flat, right? Nothing. The nothing play. Saquon Barkley then immediately sidesteps a stiff like he's not even there, right? Boom, first guy made to miss. Then he spins around a second guy, and then he takes that into a backwards hurdle over a third guy, and then falls forward on the contact for additional yardage. It was like a gymnast routine, where everything just flowed into the next move, and it could not have been put together in a more perfect way. That was the perfect football play. from Saquon.
That might be the most perfect explanation of the play.
That play.
Chop that. That's for social.
If, we're in a world now where you can clip videos and create holograms and stuff, like that play should be clipped, put in a hologram, and literally displayed in the Louvre. I mean it, seriously. That play. Whatever, 8 seconds of it, clip it up, turn it into a hologram, and project it into a room in the Louvre.
That's football right there.
Stick it right next to the Mona Lisa.
Describe that football to someone. Show the play.
That play is artwork.
So good. I love it. Well said. I had nothing else to add to that. When you leap backwards over someone, that is such an incredible, just instinctual play. Like, there's no way he's ever practiced that, right? You just do it. You just do it, but you know what you're capable of. You know you've leapt over people before.
Yeah.
Right?
Forwards.
You've spun before.
Right.
You press the two buttons at the same time, right? You went circle, triangle at the same time. I don't know what they are now, but that's what they were 20 years ago. Circle, triangle. You combo moved it, and you leaped over a guy.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
But it was how the whole thing flowed as one routine, like a gymnast routine. Like, here's my program that I'm going to put together. All these moves flow into each other, and at the end, I stick the landing, hands up, and everyone holds up perfect tens, right? That's what Saquon did. He leapt over a guy backwards, stuck the landing, fell forward for an extra 2 yards. All that was missing was 3 guys on the sideline holding up a 10. That's what that play was. It's nuts.
You're holding up an 11. You said it's perfect. It's beyond a 10.
Pretty sure perfect is 10, but okay.
Yeah, people throw 10s around too easily. Give them an 11.
Got it.
Well said. Again, just in totality. So A.J. Brown left with an injury.
Yep.
That's huge, obviously. I think he's the most important player on the Eagles. Saquon, much like Derrick Henry, though, showing in games like this what that cherry on the top is for an already good team. What does the cherry on the top look like? It's like you stole a free touchdown before the half. You steal touchdowns in the pass game because he is unbelievable at running routes and adjusting to passes, unlike most running backs. You just have extra ways to win. Because, again, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, the dudes. It's like anytime A.J. Brown's on a team, we call them the dudes, right? Who's surrounded with all these players, the dudes can make a lot of big plays. The stuff Nick Sirianni's getting potentially criticized for, they turned down an extra point. They had a good extra point. The Jags have a penalty, and the Eagles are like, we don't want the extra point. We want to go for 2 because you get it from the 1, and they didn't get it. And there was a lot of talk that they were trying to do it to go up 3 scores before. They're just trying to maximize points, right? Nobody's counting scores, I don't think, before the half. They're just trying to maximize points. And they minimized points. Instead, they took a point.
Yeah.
It was like the Texans, right? You took 3 points off the board to try to go for more, assuming, I'll get the 3 whenever I want. I'll get it later if I fail. And the Texans essentially took 3 points off the board. The Eagles essentially took a point off the board. They also had 2 failed 4th downs in this as well, which people hate because you're just passing up points. And the Eagles should have had 40 points or whatever.
And they abandoned the push play. That's been more vulnerable this year. They haven't been as automatic with it.
Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
The Jags did a good job.
It also, it reminds you just how ridiculous the hysteria was over that play. There was, at the time, basically one team executing it at a really high level and nobody else. And people were like, got to ban it. It's unfair. You got to get it out of the game. It's breaking
play.
The league.
Matt Leinart and Reggie, but they called it the Bush push because he illegally pushed Matt Leinart forward years ago and be like, we don't like this in football. And then the Eagles built a whole short yardage package off of it.
Yeah.
It's a stupid
but
play
only
pushing
then.
People forward.
And it turns out it is, in fact, defendable. It just wasn't at the time.
It is.
So the ridiculousness.
But he started going wide
of people.
It's fun when you have adjustments off of it.
Oh, they've had those, though, the whole way. It's
yeah,
just
I know.
Now they're actually being forced into them as opposed to just taking advantage of it.
Anything else from an Eagles collapse standpoint that you wanted to highlight?
No, because
Was it as bad as
collapsing.
Is it just that they lost, or is it the fact that you failed on 4th down a couple times and you took a point off the board and went for 2 and didn't get it? What are the things that are the issue for Sirianni, or is it just that they almost blew the game?
Yeah, if they had blown the game, it doesn't. They didn't blow the game, so it's
we're
cool.
good.
Yeah, but had they blown that game, it would have been a collapse that a microcosm of last season. It would have repeated last season, but in a single game setting.
Anything else on this one?
Nope.
Jags are one of those two-win teams. Many. I'm interested to see if there's movement this week.
I mean, again,
across the NFL with some staffs.
It's what we predicted, right? Like they may have staved things off with the second London game and gotten a win, but look at what that schedule looks like after that game. There might not be another win on that schedule for a while. It goes Green Bay, loss, Philadelphia, loss, then Minnesota, at Detroit, Houston. I mean, it could easily be 5 consecutive losses. You can't imagine that Peterson would survive all 5.
No.
If that's the way it goes, we're now two down, 3 to go.
I wonder how much that. I mean, it was 22-0 on its way to a blow. If it was a blowout,
right?
But the fact that they came back, and again, it was like a kind of a fluky fumble and awesome return by Trayvon Walker to put them in the game.
I mean, even remember the Patriots game. Like at halftime in that game, people were saying Peterson's getting left in London this time. Like the second half went well, but for a half, that game wasn't going well either. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.